Hello, and welcome to the Scott Airpack NXG7 SCBA Operation and Maintenance video. Scott Health and Safety continues to provide features Scott Airpack SCBA users have come to know and trust as we move forward with changing regulatory standards and technologies. This program is intended to familiarize you with your new Scott Airpack Self-Contained Breathing Apparatus, or SCBA. We will demonstrate unique features of your new NXG7 SCBA, regular inspections, battery replacement of the electronics, and how to clean and disinfect the unit. The NXG7 SCBA offers the same protection as previous Scott Airpack SCBAs, with a positive pressure mask-mounted regulator and dual redundant pressure reducer. The system maintains positive pressure in the facepiece while supplying air when the user demands it. Unique to the Scott NXG series SCBA is the snap change cylinder connection. This feature allows easy removal and replacement of air cylinders without having to unthread a high-pressure hose coupling. Once the system is depressurized, just pull on the retaining rings to disconnect the cylinder. Reinstall a fresh cylinder by simply pressing on it to make an airtight connection. Another feature on this SCBA are the buddy lights located on the sensor module on the back frame. These lights make it easier to see another person from the back when working in a dark or smoky area. The name EasyFlow Plus refers to the mask-mounted regulator. The regulator operates in the same way as earlier versions. The Plus refers to the extra protection. The regulator protects in chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear environments per the latest NIOSH and NFPA standards. This orange label shows this compliance. The air saver switch, also located on the regulator cover, saves cylinder air supply when removing the regulator and facepiece combination, or just the regulator from the facepiece. The user simply depresses the air saver switch to deactivate airflow through the regulator. To restart the flow of air, simply connect the regulator to the facepiece, inhale sharply, and breathe normally. The EasyFlow Plus regulator is large enough for the wearer to disconnect, reconnect, and operate while wearing gloves. Like earlier versions, this regulator sustains airflow volumes in excess of 400 liters per minute, giving air as you demand, and reducing any chance of overbreathing the system. The regulator also uses a heads-up display, or HUD, in compliance with the latest NFPA self-contained breathing apparatus standard. The HUD allows the SCBA wearer to constantly monitor air supply by simply looking inside the facepiece. As you turn the cylinder valve on, 5 lights on the HUD illuminate. 4 are air supply indicators, and 1 is an orange low battery light on the right-hand side of the display. With a fully charged cylinder, after 20 seconds only 2 green lights remain on. As pressure decreases to 3/4 service life, only 1 green light remains illuminated. At 1/2 cylinder, a yellow light flashes. At 1/4 air supply, the red light flashes, and the vibro-alert alarm inside the regulator activates, warning low cylinder pressure. The orange light on the right side of the HUD that we first saw when the cylinder valve was just turned on illuminates when the HUD's battery power is low to show a battery change is required. There is only one power source for all of the NXG7 SCBA electronics, including the HUD, PackAlert SE7, and NXG operations. The power source is located here in the PackAlert SE7 sensor module and provides up to 200 hours of use. Another standard feature of the NXG7 SCBA is the Rapid Intervention Crew Universal Air Connection, or RIC-UAC, also required for NFPA compliance. This adapter is for emergency replenishment of an SCBA cylinder from a RIT pack through an RIC-UAC wand. To use this fitting, verify that the user's cylinder valve is open. Remove the dust cap from the user's RIC-UAC fitting. Attach your Scott RIT pack wand to the RIC-UAC adapter of the incapacitated user by pushing the quick disconnects together until the sleeve clicks into place. Next, slowly open the RIT pack cylinder valve to supply air to the incapacitated user. When air stops flowing, the 2 cylinders have equalized, and the RIT pack cylinder valve should be closed. Next, pull the wand adapter's sleeve until the fitting disengages. Install the dust cap onto the SCBA RIC UAC fitting. Bleed off the pressure in the wand by following the operating and maintenance instructions supplied with the RIT pack. Always follow your internal departmental policies, procedures, and training before attempting to use this emergency device. Let's now look at the AV3000 facepiece used with this latest version, NXG7 SCBA. The facepiece comes in small, with a green grommet, medium colored black, and large colored red. The cylinders for the NXG7 SCBA are available in 30, 45, and 60-minute rated durations at 4,500 psi working pressure, and a rated 30-minute duration for cylinders with a 2216 psi working pressure. Keep in mind, these cylinders are identified as rated durations. The actual time achieved from each cylinder depends on your physical condition, type of workload, physical characteristics, training, and a number of other factors. The back frame and harness materials are black, with a drag rescue loop at the top between the shoulder straps. The harness material is made of Kevlar fiber for heat and flame resistance. An important accessory on your NXG7 SCBA is the Pack Alert SE7 Distress Alarm, or PASS device. The Pack Alert SE7 sounds an alert if the wearer remains motionless for 30 seconds. The Pack Alert SE7 consists of two major components: the sensor module, located here at the base of the back frame, which holds the battery power, and the control console, mounted on the right shoulder strap. The control console holds the remote pressure gauge. The Pack Alert SE7 activates either manually or automatically. To activate it manually without turning the cylinder valve on, simply depress the red button on the cover of the control console. This emergency override causes the unit to go into full alarm. Notice the light on the control console and sensor module is on and flashing red when the unit is in full alarm. Pressing the yellow reset button on the side of the control console twice resets the full alarm, but keeps the Pack Alert SE7 operational. A green light on the control console and sensor module flashes in this monitoring mode. Left in this mode with no movement for 20 seconds, the control console light flashes red, and the pre-alert alarm gets louder until the systems go into full alarm. During the pre-alert alarm mode, you can reset the Pack Alert SE7 by either moving the unit or pressing the yellow reset button. If the Pack Alert SE7 is in full alarm mode, simply press the yellow button twice to deactivate the sound and reset the alarm. Press the yellow button 2 more times to turn the unit off. As it turns off, you'll hear 2 quick chirps signifying the unit is turned off. The Pack Alert SE7 activates automatically once the cylinder valve is turned on. Turning the cylinder valve, you hear 3 quick chirps and the SCBA VibraAlert alarm activates momentarily. The Pack Alert SE7 continues to monitor the SCBA wearer's motion, and as before, if the wearer remains stationary for 20 seconds, the Pack Alert SE7 goes into a pre-alert alarm. The alarm resets by either movement or pressing the yellow reset button. If the wearer continues to remain motionless and does not depress the yellow reset button, a full alarm activates in 10 seconds. Once in full alarm, the Pack Alert SE7 can only be reset by pressing the yellow reset button twice. To turn the Pack Alert SE7 off from this normal use automatic activation, first turn the cylinder valve off fully. Then bleed down any trapped air pressure by rotating the regulator purge knob clockwise until the VibraAlert alarm activates and all airflow stops. Now press the yellow reset button on the control console twice. You'll hear several chirps from the Pack Alert SE7, followed by a 2-tone chirp signifying the unit is turned off. Routine inspections are required as part of an organized respiratory protection program. Scott recommends that the NXG7 SCBA be inspected upon receiving the unit and regularly after each use, or more frequently following department policies. An operational inspection of the NXG7 SCBA is quick and easy. Here's how to initially inspect the AirPack SCBA, starting with items that do not require the cylinder valve to be turned on. To start, carefully inspect the complete harness and back frame, making sure that the waist and shoulder straps are fully extended. Also, check the harness for worn or frayed webbing or damaged components. If damaged, the unit should be tagged out of service and returned for repair by qualified technicians. Next, inspect the facepiece to ensure that all straps are fully extended and working properly. The straps should not show any material fraying or loose threads. Now inspect the facepiece's internal parts. Check the rubber facepiece seal all the way around the lens, making sure there are no deformities, deterioration, cracking, or tears. Now check the nose cup, again making sure there are no deformities, deterioration, cracks, or tears. Make sure the voice emitter ducts are present and do not show damage or deterioration. On the outside of the facepiece, look at the lens. Make sure there are no cracks, scratches, dirt, debris, or any condition that would prevent a good seal or distort vision. Look at the voice emitters located on the right and left side of the facepiece. Make sure they are both present and the edges are sealed by the rubber voice emitter duct. If you find any problem with the facepiece, head harness, face seal, nose cup, voice emitter ducts, or combinations of problems, remove the facepiece from service and tag for repair by authorized personnel. Check the cylinder's hydrostatic test date to make sure it's been tested within the prescribed time. Carbon fiber cylinders require hydrostatic testing every 5 years. Check the cylinder pressure gauge to make sure the cylinder is full. If it is not full, replace it with one that is fully charged. To inspect the cylinder, first bleed off any trapped air by turning the regulator purge valve to the on position until the airflow stops. Then close the purge knob to the off position. Pull the 2 cylinder retaining rings outward and lift the cylinder toward the top of the back frame using both hands. When the cylinder is completely separated from the back frame, the sensor lights flash red, showing the cylinder is disconnected from the pressure reducer. Remember, compressed air is dangerous. Secure the cylinder so it does not fall or roll away. Do not open the cylinder valve hand wheel when it is not in the back frame or secured in some other manner. When opening the cylinder valve of a secured cylinder, be sure not to direct the airflow at yourself or any other individual. Inspect the entire cylinder for dents or damage to the outside of the cylinder, including the composite overwrap. Charred or missing decals, melted pressure gauge covers, or distorted elastomeric bumpers all indicate exposure to high heat or flame. Cylinders that show damage from heat or flame should immediately be drained of compressed air, removed from service, and tagged for further inspection by authorized personnel. Inspect the cylinder valve, making sure there is no physical damage. Check the cylinder valve gauge to make sure the pressure reading is the same from both sides of the gauge. Check the cylinder valve outlet and inlet for damage. If the valve body, the bumper, gauge lens, or gauge show any damage or are distorted, or any parts missing, remove the cylinder and valve assembly from service and tag for further inspection by authorized personnel. After inspecting the cylinder, slide it back into the back frame. Bring it up under the cylinder band and back down to engage the cylinder valve outlet with the inlet of the pressure reducer. Once aligned, gently press the cylinder to engage it to the pressure reducer, causing the lights on the back frame sensor module to flash blue. Secure the cylinder band by locking the cylinder retention latch. If the strap is too loose or too tight, lift the cylinder band toggle and slide the cylinder strap to the right to loosen or to the left to tighten, and secure the toggle again. Always remember when inspecting the NXG7 SCBA, also inspect spare cylinders to make sure they're ready if you need additional air supply during an emergency. Now let's cover the EasyFlow Plus regulator inspection. Make sure the regulator hose is not damaged and the quick disconnect is secure. Check the connection of the low-pressure hose to the regulator, making sure it swivels freely. Make sure the HUD visor and air saver switch boot are intact and not damaged or distorted. Inspect the regulator cover, making sure it's intact and there are no signs of cracks, dents, or heat damage. Turn the regulator over and make sure the regulator gasket is fully seated and does not show any damage, such as chips or tears. Check the regulator locking latch and retaining screws. Make sure the latch slides up and down smoothly. Now depress the regulator air saver switch and make sure the regulator purge knob closes with the indicator in the 12 o'clock position. This prevents the regulator from free-flowing air after opening the cylinder valve. Connect the regulator to the facepiece by aligning it with the purge knob in the 12 o'clock position. Make sure the flats of the regulator are aligned with the flats of the facepiece. Rotate the regulator clockwise in the facepiece until it clicks into place. Before turning the cylinder valve on, check the Pack Alert SE7 under Manual Activation. Visually inspect the control console, cable, and sensor module for any cracks or other physical damage. Make sure the back covers of the control console and the battery cover on the sensor module are both secure. Make sure there's enough battery power to operate the unit. Check by pressing and holding the yellow reset button. This activates a blue light that changes to green, indicating sufficient battery power. If the light turns red, or there is no light, replace the batteries before returning the unit for service. Now, let's check the air pack with the cylinder valve turned on to complete the inspection process. While inspecting, look and listen for three things: the regulator VibraAlert alarm to activate momentarily, the Pack Alert SE7 to sound 3 chirps indicating it has been turned on, and all 5 lights of the regulator heads-up display to illuminate. You can do this easily by holding the regulator and opening the cylinder valve. Check the remote pressure gauge on the right shoulder strap to verify the cylinder is fully charged. The indicator should be in the green space on the gauge dial. Also notice the light on the control console is flashing green, indicating the Pack Alert SE7 has been automatically turned on. You should see all 5 HUD lights activate. After 20 seconds from opening the cylinder valve, only 2 green lights should be on, indicating a fully charged cylinder. If these lights do not illuminate, or if there are additional lights, remove the unit from service and tag for repair. To check if your mask-mounted regulator is working, hold the facepiece to your face, inhale sharply to start the flow of air, and breathe normally. Slowly remove the facepiece from your face, and air should flow freely. Stop the free flow of air by pressing the air saver switch and releasing. Check the regulator purge knob by rotating the regulator red purge valve counterclockwise. Air should once again flow freely from the regulator. Stop the flow of air by turning the red purge knob back to the 12 o'clock position. Allow the NXG7 SCBA backframe to remain motionless for 20 seconds, causing the Pack Alert SE7 to go into pre-alert alarm. The pre-alert alarm sounds for 10 seconds and then goes into full alarm. Again, deactivate the full alarm by pressing the yellow reset button twice. Continue to let the NXG7 SCBA backframe remain motionless until the Pack Alert SE7 goes into the pre-alert alarm function. This time, gently move the backframe to reset the Pack Alert SE7. Now turn the cylinder valve off, pushing the hand wheel in and rotating the cylinder valve hand wheel in the clockwise direction until it stops. Check the end of service alarm and HUD by watching the remote pressure gauge and slowly opening the regulator purge knob. As trapped air pressure is reduced, the yellow light comes on when the remote gauge shows approximately 1/2 full. As trapped pressure bleeds off, the VibraAlert alarm and red HUD light activate when the gauge indicator is at approximately 1/4 full. Continue to turn the purge knob to vent the trapped system pressure. After all air is fully vented, close the purge valve by turning it to the 12 o'clock position. Turn off the Pack Alert SE7 by pressing the yellow reset button twice. A 2-tone chirp indicates the pass device has been turned off. If during your inspection you find any damage, such as worn parts, frayed webbing, a damaged cylinder or facepiece, or if the AirPack SCBA fails to operate properly, it should be removed from service and tagged for repair. After the full inspection, return the SCBA to storage. Your NXG7 SCBA is equipped with one battery source, consisting of 6 AA batteries. The batteries provide power for about 200 hours of actual runtime, with the PackAlert SE7 in sensing mode. This will vary depending on the type of batteries and frequency of use. The battery should be changed when either the orange low battery light on the HUD illuminates, or when a red light or no light shows on the console. To change the batteries, remove the battery cover using a large flat blade screwdriver and turn the screw counterclockwise. Just loosen the screw so the cover lifts easily. Gently tip the SCBA backframe up to let the battery slide out of the battery compartment. Install new batteries with the positive and negative sides of the batteries in the correct direction. Installing the batteries incorrectly may cause the electronics to not function properly or not function at all. Make sure the replacement batteries are the correct size and type as shown in the operating and maintenance instructions. Only use approved batteries. Unapproved batteries may cause the SCBA to not function properly, and various approvals will be voided. Secure the battery cover by aligning it and turning the retention screw clockwise until it is snug. After replacing the batteries, check the operation of the HUD and PackAlert SE7 distress alarm, as done in the regular operational inspection. After each use of your Scott AirPack SCBA, clean and disinfect it thoroughly, separating the facepiece from the regulator. Use the cleaner recommended in the operating and maintenance instructions, and do not disconnect the cylinder or the regulator quick disconnect. Doing so could result in water or contaminants entering the airways, causing the mask to fail during usage. This video has been produced by Scott Health and Safety to familiarize you with your new Scott NXG7 AirPack SCBA. Remember, when operating, inspecting, or cleaning your new Scott NXG7 SCBA, follow your department's procedures. If you have any questions about your new AirPack, contact your Scott Regional Manager, Field Service Specialist, or Scott's Technical Support Group at 800-247-7257.